Good morning. This morning we're going to be using our Spirooli, which can make some very interesting thinly sliced spiral vegetables or fruits to make some interesting salads or other kinds of foods. We have the different parts that make up this Spirooli, and this slides in and out so that you can slide the vegetables towards where the blade is going to be. It comes with 3 different kinds of blades. We have the thin, more spaghetti size slice, so there will be thin vegetables when you slice this. Then we have the one that's a little bit bigger than that, so it would be more like, this is spaghetti, this would be linguine, the difference in size. And then we have the last one, which makes a ribbon, a thicker ribbon slice, and you'll see in a minute what I mean by that. You have to be very, very careful because all of these are very, very sharp. There's a very, very sharp blade along this edge. So once again, be very, very careful. And of course, these here are kind of sharp too. So be very careful when you're using these. We're going to show you how to put this, how it comes. These blades, and this is the one I use the most, so I'm going to put it right now in here and it snaps in. And then these slide in, as you can see, these little grooves. And you have to snap them in as well. And the nice thing about it is that then everything is all kept together for your Spirooli when you're not using it. And then it has 4 legs, and you have to snap down on each leg to make sure that it is stationary and it will stay and not move, because you're going to be pulling towards this. I have it set up because I'm left-handed. You'll set it up probably the opposite if you're right-handed. We're going to pull towards the slicer as we're turning this. And to make this work, we need to use, we need to have vegetables like we have zucchini, carrots, beets, apples, and you can try any solid vegetable. Something like a cabbage or an onion wouldn't work well because they kind of fall apart, and you'd be better just to grate them or use something else. You want your zucchini, and we're going to make sort of like a spaghetti, a raw spaghetti with a nice marinara sauce. And this zucchini is about the smallest size you'd want width-wise. Okay, the bigger they are, the easier it is to use. What you need is you need 2 flat surfaces. So you got to cut off your funny ends, and then there's a very sharp blade here that you're going to push this into. We'll put the narrow end in, and then you bring your spiky part, you bring that so that you've got, okay, so you got to snap down our 4 corners again. It doesn't work as well on this type of top because it's not totally flat, but if you've got a regular countertop, it works great, or stainless steel, it works great, marble, it would work great, but this granite, it's not quite as good. So get it on a surface that is that's flat and that will stay stationary. So we've got the Spirooli all set up and pulled down on each part. We want to have a plate to capture the food as it falls off. And you'll see as we spin this around, I'm pulling with my left hand. You're going to be doing it the opposite maybe, but anyways, I'm pulling with my left hand, turning with my other hand, and we are getting okay. Now, when I put this on, I purposely put it on off center because I want it small pieces, but if I put it on the center, I'll show you in a second what happens. Now we have all these little pieces left over, and we're going to use them in our sauce, okay? So let's just take this other zucchini, and I'll show you what I mean by centering it. If I put the hole right in the center of this, again, I'm pulling with the one hand and turning with the other, and you'll see, it's very simple to do, I'm getting this wonderful long spaghetti. So if you want to have some fun and watch your family, it's really great with kids especially, trying to eat this when it's a long piece. So you can off-center it, or you can take a sharp knife and slice it slightly, and then it will not be long pieces. It will still be spiral, thin pieces like spaghetti. But the nice thing about it is you can pick it up with a fork and eat it more easily. So as I said, we're going to use this in our sauce. So there we are with some wonderful zucchini. And again, be very careful when you're pulling the vegetable out that you don't touch the blade. Okay, so when you are finished and you want to get this off the counter, because this doesn't pull off that easy, you have to pull on the 4 little nipples, and as you pull on them, this will now come off of your countertop, and then you can take it apart. Now to get this out, you have to pull out and up to get this out. And now we can take this apart and wash it off and make it ready for the next one. So now we're ready to try a different blade. So we've made sure that the each foot is down solid. We've got our clean gadget that slices the vegetables through. And this is the blade we used for the zucchini, and you'll see we have this wonderful zucchini ready. And then we're going to take now a yam or sweet potato. And again, we need to have a flat surface on either end that's straight, in fact, flat. And we're going to do a different blade. To get the blades out, there's a little knob on the back side here. You push on it and the blade comes out quite easily. So you push on that and the blade comes out. If you don't push on it, it's hard to get the blade out. So this time we're going to try using the thicker blade, and we slide that in and snap it. And I think we're going to use the carrots, the beet, and the yam or sweet potato to make a really interesting salad. And we'll use the different sizes for this. Okay, so now we've got again leftover carrot, and we've got these thicker pieces. Okay, so we're back. We had to move to a flat, smooth surface, and the stainless steel works very, very well. Your regular countertop works very well as well. So what we need is something that's stationary, because I'm pulling pretty hard, and this will move the whole countertop if it's not stationary. So you can see we've got a really wonderful, wonderful here. Long spiral. We've got to pull out our piece of beet. It's stuck here. And we'll use this either in our juicing or in some other salad or in the dressing. And we got these long spirals that we have cut with the beet. So we have our beet and our carrots, and let's just put the next one, which is the sweet potato. And I think I'm going to use so we pull out and up to get the blade, and I'm going to use the thinner blade just so you can see the difference with this. We have our 2 flat surfaces. And again, we're pulling with the one hand. Now if we don't want this long piece, we can take our little knife, and if you slice down not too far, it's going to give you shorter pieces. Once you've got it on the flat countertop that holds, this is really, really easy to do. Okay, we've done the same thing with our carrot now. We've cut it a little bit shorter so that it will be able to work on our spiruli. Long, thin vegetables don't work as well as stubby, shorter ones. So we've got the same thin blade here. Okay, so we're now back, ready to use the flat ribbon attachment. So we put it in and we snap it, and now we're going to take our apple, and we bought organic apples so that we don't have to worry about using the skin, And we're going to now put the core over top of this little round sharp part, and it's going to actually core the apple at the same time that we Spirooli it. Okay. Okay, so we're getting our nice ribbon pieces of our apple. So you can see that this Spirooli does many different things. We'll stop now. So we have this lovely ribbon, and we can actually take this, and what I would normally do with it is I would sprinkle cinnamon on it, maybe a little bit of nutmeg, and then I'll put it in the dehydrator, and we'll end up with some really interesting thin apple chips, and it dehydrates within 3 or 4 hours that way. So that's another thing we can do with our flat blade, our Spirooli. So we're now that we want to clean this, if you can't get the little nipples to come off, because you can't get your finger in there to pull it up, just put the sharp blade of your knife underneath the nipple, and it will release it at the same time. Okay, so now we're going to clean this. Okay, so we've got all of the Spirooli washed up now, and I wanted to show you what I used to clean my blades. I have a long handled brush because you don't want your fingers anywhere near these blades, so I used a long handled brush to clean it up, and I didn't have to worry about cutting myself. And then we want to put it back together so we're ready for using it the next day, the next time we want it. And since this is the blade I use the most, I store the thin blade, the smallest blade, in here, snap it shut, and then I put the other 2 blades, the front again, snapping it in, and it's all ready for the next time's use. Okay, so here we have what we created today. We have our zucchini, raw zucchini spaghetti using our thin blade. And then we made a marinara sauce, and you can get some wonderful recipes for the marinara sauce from Rhonda's book, or from my Foods from Around the World, or in the Kitchen with Judy as well. And we have some really interesting raw food to eat along with our big salad. And what I did is I took my kitchen scissors and I cut up the pieces so that I wouldn't have any really long pieces, and then we put on a really nice honey mustard dressing and garnished it with a few pine nuts. So we've got a wonderful beet carrot sweet potato salad as well. So you can have lots of fun with your spiral vegetable cutter, and if Jessica could just come up close, you'll see all the different shapes and sizes you can make using these 3 blades, and have some wonderful, interesting, fun foods for your company, or just your everyday foods. Thank you very much.